Today we're on the streets of Barcelona.
And we're joined by internationally renowned tenor, CLAY HILLEY.
So Clay, a Daily Mail review described your voice as a meat slicer, right? That same phrase is now on the homepage of your website. How do you go from reading a critique like that to making it your slogan?
Okay, so in London when that review came out, I'd woken up before Sarah and I was reading it to myself and I thought, oh my gosh, like what an aggressively negative review. And then Sarah woke up a little while later and I was like, Sarah, get a load of what the Daily Mail has said. And I read it. And Sarah's normally very protective and she's just like, oh, don't listen to that, No, this time it was completely different. She goes, I think that's excellent. Like a voice like a meat slicer, like what in the world, how could that be a bad thing for like a Heldentenor to be described as? So it was the encouragement of my normally very defensive wife. So thank you, Sarah.
So Clay, what's your emergency solution for when you notice your voice isn't working the way you'd like it on performance day?
Great question. Hydration, hydration, hydration. You know, I've done these reels about electrolytes, and what if you can't find electrolytes? Matter of fact, this very morning I didn't have any. So this in this cup right now is actually water, cold water with salt. That's all electrolytes. This is mainly just to make sure that you have the sodium that can absorb the water and keep it in your system. And other things, pastilles, lozenges, anything that can kind of keep it, and maybe that's psychosomatic. Maybe that's only something that's just for mental, for your mental sake. But like just having moisture in your mouth and around your pharynx is a great thing to have. Also, I have the steamer. When I feel like my voice is a little heavy, a little thick, a little harder to get going, steam always helps. If you don't have a personal steamer, just take an extra long shower. You got the steam that can come in naturally that way. There's also bromelain, the pineapple that I mentioned in previous reels. I've mentioned calcium. You can take an extra boost of calcium between acts. Apple cider vinegar also. So I have the whole list of voodoo. But I think the best thing you can do is if you wake up on a day and your voice is not responding correctly, take even longer to warm up than you would normally take. Take an extra 30 minutes and just sing softly and softly and softly and just gradually build it up to like where you're bringing your full subglottic pressure to the game.
Actually, I didn't know about the apple cider one.
It's controversial.
It's controversial. I like, and maybe it's also psychosomatic. I thought it was it's an anti-inflammatory, so I thought it could reduce swelling. Actually, when I looked it up, it really is just best to eliminate phlegm. So if you get like a lot of, if you're like clearing your throat a lot, that can help thin that out. So it's actually not a remedy, I don't think, for swelling.
If you have reflux, you have to be careful.
Yeah, it's sparingly. Yeah, sparingly.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and have you ever stolen a prop from a production you were in?
Stolen a prop? I would never. However, at the end of the Tristan run of the Graham Vick production at Deutsche Oper Berlin, as I described in I think an AMA Friday, that I did take the set chair from Act 3, from which I performed. Act 3 involved Tristan at a very old age sitting in this sort of reclining chair from IKEA sometime around circa 2011 or so. So I did, it wasn't stolen, I did ask, and I do have it, and I do work from it.
Amazing.
So what kind of toll does a Wagner production take on you, and how long do you need to recover from it?
So it will depend on the role. Roles like Parsifal are comfortable, and I think that's not controversial compared to something like Tristan and Tannhäuser and Siegfried. Götterdämmerung is also not quite as bad. It's a long night, but your participation as Siegfried is punctuated with big gaps between, so that's nice. But Siegfried, Tristan, Tannhäuser, one needs at least 3 days between performances. So if you do a performance on Sunday, you need Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday night should be your next performance, and no earlier. And yes, no partying after, no social events. I've learned all this stuff the hard way. People told me this, but it wasn't enough. I had to learn it. I had to say, yes, well, I don't perform tomorrow night, so I'll come to this dinner party because it's the next night is the show. But you know what? With these kind of roles, with these three that I keep mentioning, it's just not possible. You have to take care of yourself. I always say part of my payment, part of my fee that I receive for the role is not just for the performance I do, but it's paying for my good behavior like 3 days in advance. That I just don't do anything social, don't do anything incredibly fun or fun at all. Just shut it down, do something quiet at home, assemble a jigsaw puzzle, this kind of thing. Just be cool, just be chill.
Okay, and lastly, as your sunglasses have shown throughout the interview, what's with the outfits?
It's all vibes, man. I don't know. When I started doing the account, I had this hat because we were in the Canary Islands when I cooked up this idea to have this Heldentenor account. And then I was like, well, I'm here. I have like all this tropical stuff. Matter of fact, I wear quite a lot. Throughout history, I've worn a lot of like old man Hawaiian shirts. Not that this is one. As a matter of fact, I got this and a lot of my bright colored shirts from a great store in Berlin that we can put in the comments because they're great. These are all custom made shirts and they're bright, which is kind of countercultural in a place like Berlin where you guys fit in great in Berlin. Anyway, but I have these, and then the sunglasses happen because I have there's a podcaster I know that wears them for his show, and that kind of cracked me up. And anyway, and it's also easier to edit video when your eyes aren't darting around, splicing and cutting and things like this. So it actually helps to conceal for smooth editing.
Okay, so and lastly, when you're called to step in at a demanding role on short notice, how do you prepare for that?
Of course, I would never agree to do it unless it's something I've done quite a few times. The only times I've actually ever done a proper Einspringer where I just jump right in were Idomeneo in 2016 at the Salzburg Landestheater, and my debut at Bayreuth with Goethe Dämmerung. And in each case, I had just done the role like a number of times. I think I'd done Goethe Dämmerung at least 6 times in the last 7 or 8 months. So it was very ready to go. And then the same case for the Idomeneo about a decade ago. But so I wouldn't accept it if I didn't know all these things. And also, I don't know. There's something about jumping into something at the last minute where the audience is already sort of on your side, and everyone wants to see it succeed. This happened with your sister last week at the Strauss. So the audience is there ready for you. They want you to succeed, and it's actually kind of a great way to make a debut for a new house and a new audience.
And finally, let's hear Clay Hilley's top comment.
No more Regie opera performances without printed materials explaining the Inszenierung in multiple languages for the audience. Otherwise, you might get sliced.